He is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing better for talking to you, and I appreciate your time. I want to give you the floor. What is in your heart and mind this morning, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Well, it's kind of like I'm caught between hope and history, I hope that our nation is going to make the changes it needs to make to realize, its place and, what it means and how important it is that we uphold what the Founding Fathers actually talked about, what Mr. Jefferson wrote in the Declaration, that all men are created equal. We got to make that a reality. And I think the events of the past week or so have really shown to all of America how much that is not a fact. And that we have to fix that. We have to fix it.
What are your thoughts, your emotions when you're now in 2020 talking about what appears to be the very same issue you were talking about in the late 60s, Kareem?
Same issue. I remember the very first time I became aware of it. I was 17 years old, and a young man named James Powell was killed by a police officer named Thomas Gilligan. And Harlem erupted into a riot, and I could have got shot. It just being out on the street was dangerous, and it hasn't changed any. It's the same exact issue. The same exact issue. Well, Colin Kaepernick tried very hard to demonstrate peacefully about this very issue, and what happened to him? He was ostracized. He lost his job. He was blackballed. And this is the issue he was trying to talk about, and it seems that the powers that be did not like him bringing it up.
So, what would you counsel today? What will you? I guess in a way that's bringing it to what you wrote about in your op-ed, and I'd like to give you the floor on that subject, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Just that people have to listen. The criminal justice system is tainted with racism from top to bottom. It discriminates, and it makes people suffer. And that has to end. It has to end. We have to find a way how to make criminal cops accountable. The good cops, the overwhelming majority of cops are good cops, and they suffer too when bad cops do what they do. So, we need to find some means to hold bad cops accountable and keep them from destroying everything that they destroy. Families, our trust in the law. They squander the good deeds of all the good cops. So, something needs to be done about that.
Well, also, your headline, make a friend with someone who doesn't look like you. What do you mean by that?
That's a great idea. And understand their humanity and understand that despite the difference in looks, they might like chess or collecting stamps or whatever it is that you like. So, find out what we have in common in our great nation. It's a wonderful place to do that.
So, what does it mean that would be in 2020 fresh advice, right? I mean, it's kind of a simple thing to just suggest, but how do we, I guess, come together in that regard, Kareem?
We come together every day. I mean, in our nation, and especially in the cities of our nation, people of incredibly varied backgrounds come together and work together and continue to make this the greatest nation in the world. That's what America is about, and we got to keep that happening. We can't let we can't let bias and discrimination just make a mess of it. We can't do that.
What do you think?
We have to find a way to cope.
What do you think Muhammad Ali would think of this moment, Kareem?
Well, Muhammad Ali spoke out numerous times about police violence. It wasn't a new issue for him. You can go back and check his statements. You'll see that he actually spoke out on these issues.